Hello everybody! Welcome back to Let's Be Honest. Liz here. We are going to be getting started with a brand new series with a brand new character, and we are going to be playing through Final Fantasy XIV: A Realm Reborn. Final Fantasy XIV: A Realm Reborn is the 2.0 patch that came out when Final Fantasy XIV was completely reworked when a new producer took over, Mr. Naoki Yoshida. So we are going to be starting together, level 1, right at the beginning. So if we're going to start at the beginning, we better start at the very beginning. Please join me in watching the opening to Final Fantasy XIV: A Realm Reborn. All right. I wonder what all of that could mean. I wonder what the story is going to be. We're going to have to find out. So here we go. We're going to jump into Character Creator and get started with our journey into Final Fantasy XIV Online. And this is our new character. Go ahead and rotate her around so you can see what she looks like. Here's what she's going to look like in the daytime. I went with a Makote because that is my favorite race in Final Fantasy XIV. If you are unfamiliar with Final Fantasy XIV, there are a lot of different races. This is the race that I most enjoy playing. My main is also a Makote, but I was very, very sure to make sure that this character was similar to my main, but also different, so I wasn't just playing my main character over again. My main character is Lisbeth Rylander, therefore, let's be honest. So this is going to be our new character. So I am quite pleased with the way she turned out. I love her hair color. I love the, I'm really, really happy with it. I went with a different tail than I do on my main, but here we go. This is our girl. Here's what she sounds like. So this is her angry voice. I love the little rasp to it. Like, I think the rasp is just really kind of a fun little touch. So I feel like her yes is a little strange, but that's okay. All right, here we go. We'll go ahead and save it just to make sure. That's mine. Okay. So, I don't know why, but I always do the third umbral moon on the 9th day. Not entirely sure why. So, and then I think I was going to do this one. Azima. Azima is a keeper of the sun and goddess of inquiry. She commands the element of fire and is associated with the 9th moon of the Eorzean calendar. Azima is the first daughter of Althlik and the elder sister of Mimphina. She is often depicted as a noble lady holding a golden fan. Her symbol is the radiant sun. I like that one. I think it's pretty cool. And then we are going to start our story off as a gladiator. I want to start our story in Ul'dah. So let's go ahead and read about a gladiator. So gladiators specialize in the handling of all manner of one-handed blades, from daggers to longswords, be they single or double-edged, straight or curved. A defining characteristic of the art is its emphasis on diverse combat tactics, training its members to bring their martial skills to bear in any situation. As such, there are practitioners who marry the sword with shield, seeking to defend their fellow companions. Others opt for an empty offhand, choosing instead to focus entirely on their sword arm. In all instances, the ages-old art of the sword makes the gladiator a formidable adversary in any encounter. So that is the gladiator. If you've never played Final Fantasy XIV before, there are multiple classes you can start with. A pugilist is kind of like a boxer. They use their fist. A marauder is a warrior who uses the axe. A lancer is someone who uses a lance. Archer is obviously someone who uses a bow and arrow. And then there are 3 disciples of magic that you can start with. A conjurer, which will eventually turn into a white mage, so a healer. A thaumaturge, which is a black mage, so using the black magic such as fire and things like that. And then you have an arcanist, and the arcanist is actually a little bit unique because they use pets to help them fight, and that is a very, very traditional Final Fantasy headpiece that they have for the summoners. So those are the options that you have when you're starting Final Fantasy XIV. You will start in different cities, depending on what you pick. For example, if you pick the Marauder, you will start in the city of Limsa Lominsa. It's down in the bottom left corner for you to get a visual of what that looks like. So Limsa is on the ocean. And if you were to start with a Lancer, you would be in the city-state of Gridania. And Gridania is kind of like a forest, very homely place. My favorite starting place is Ul'dah. So we are going to go ahead and start in Ul'dah and start off our story as a gladiator. This is what the artifact gear will look like for a gladiator when we get to that point. I am very happy with how our character looks, but let's go ahead and get started. So first things first, I don't want to be on Goblin. I want to be on Cactar. That is my home world. And that is just picking up different data setters. So there's different data setters depending on which country you live in. So that way you get the best latency and ping and all that stuff. And also in the same time zone as people who play with you. Within that, there are different worlds. Cactar is my home world. It's where my main is. It's where most of my friends are. So that is why I picked Cactar. If you're just starting off the game, there are a lot of different places you can pick from. If you don't have anywhere to go, you can just pick a random world. There's going to be people in every world who are there to help you. Cactar is just home for me. But now, it took me a while, but I finally came up with a name for our lovely gladiator. So please, big round of applause for Leiora Rathair. So this is Leiora Rathair, and I am very happy with how that sounds. Leiora and Rathair. I got the idea from Rathair from the Irish surname of Cathair, which means it's something about some kind of lullaby or like story about light. But Cathair is spelled Cathair, so it was cat hair. And I was like, I can't be a Makote with the name Cat Hair as my last name. So I went and just kind of messed with it a little bit and came up with Rathair. And so, Leiora Rathair. That is our character. I am super excited. Alright, so here is Leiora Rathair. Begin a new game with this character. Let's go ahead and get started. Oh, that artwork for Ul'dah is beautiful. I love it so much. Little Moogle down in the corner. Delivering mail wherever he goes. And there we are. But where are we?
Here. Here. Feel. Hear, feel, think.
Well then. Let's see what happens next. Hey! Hey you! You alright, lass? You were moaning something fierce for a while there. Feeling the effects of the aether, I reckon. You'll get used to it, though, don't worry. You there! Halt! What's all this about? Inspection. Men search the carriage. I'm just an honest peddler, friend. So, don't be too disappointed if you don't find nothing, eh? Mind your tongue, old man, lest I cut it out. These guys are pleasant, aren't they? Well then. Sir, look! Somnus! Honest peddler, was it? Since when do honest peddlers deal in prohibited herbs? You're in a lot of trouble, old man. You'll rot in a dungeon to the end of your days. Unless you can afford the fine. Business as usual. Hooah! Amulja, to arms, to arms! Seven L's. Consider this a warning. Now go, all of you. Oof. It's like a one punch. That kind of excitement ain't good for the heart. You be careful around them brass blades, lass. Bastards will have the shirt off your back if they fancy it. Like common bandits, only they are less honest. Thank the gods for sending some beastmen to the rescue, eh? Hey, seeing if we still got a long ride ahead, you mind keeping me company till we arrive? Them young'uns don't care much for conversation, see? Brent's the name, and peddlin's me trade. And judging by your unusual garments, I'll wager you one of them new adventurers. I knew it. Going wherever the wind blows, seeking fortune and glory, now that's what I call living. So long as you can avoid dying, I mean. Ain't no secret that adventuring's a risky business, these days especially. That was what was it that first attracted you to it? To gain power, to win glory, to amass a fortune? Gain power. Power? As in, power to do good. Like protecting the weak and fighting for what's right and all that. I thought that's what you meant. Well, adventurers do get up to a lot of fighting, that's for sure. You'll never be short of a chance to polish your warcraft in the adventuring business. When you arrive in town, you'd best enroll at the Adventurers Guild. They'll set you on the right path. And it wouldn't hurt to join a guild, neither. Uldal's home to a few, so if you fancy learning how to fight with a sword, your fists, or even spells, you should think about seeking one out. Just remember, though, there's more than important things than fortune and glory, such as breathing. Ain't no profit in being dead, and that's a fact. I would agree with you on that. By the by, is this your first trip to Uldal? It's not my first trip, personally, but we'll go ahead and say yes, so that we can see what they have to say about Uldal. It is! Well then, let this journeyed itinerant, there we go, tell you the ins and outs of your destination. Uldal is ruled by the Sultana in name, but as most folks know, the Syndicate holds all the real power. Them and their monastery's croonies would happily get rid of her grace altogether, but that won't happen while she still commands the loyalty of the Royalists. And the Royalists are nothing if they ain't loyal. These factions have long fought over power, throwing the weight of their wealth against each other, and they show no sign of stopping. Of course, the Lizardmen, that's the Amalja, couldn't care less about Uldan politics. They have their own interests, see? And they ain't afraid to use force to serve them. Onto this desert. They say war is a gift to peddlers, need breed and profit, and though it shames me to say it, I'm inclined to agree. Ah, at long last. Behold Ul'dah, jewel of Thanalan, where folk turn sand into gold.
Deep in the sun-baked south, surrounded by the shifting sands of an endless desert, she rises. A solitary rose amidst the dust and rock, a symbol of defiance. Her name, Ul'dah.
Does look pretty cool, doesn't it?
Even with the coming of the seventh umbral era, hope springs eternal for the mongers and merchants who vie for lost fortunes in this bustling oasis. As the twin faces of Nold Thal maintain their vigil over all that has been and shall be, the present proffers a brave soul. One whose arrival could mark the beginning of a new era of prosperity for the realm.
No pressure. And here's where we part ways, lass. I'm off to the markets to deliver me wares, and then it's on to the high road for me. Here, I want you to have this, by way of thanks for putting up with me prattle. You never did tell me your name, though. Hey, but here's an idea. Become the sort of storied personage I can brag about having met, and I'll consider us square.
May the traders nurture our fortunes as they kindle the flames which burn within us all.
All right.
For by fire are we reborn.
Here we go. Final Fantasy XIV. An awesome way to start the game. Alright. Now we'll have a little bit of an in-game tutorial. Gosh, it all looks so cool. Looks so big and massive and pretty. Oi, adventurer, over here! I mean you. Fresh off the carriage by any chance? Eh? How can I tell? Name's Wymond, and my business is knowing every bugger else's. Now then, what if I was to offer you some invaluable advice by way of welcome to our fair city? Free of charge even. Just this once like. Okay. Alright. So welcome to Ul'dah, the shining beacon of prosperity rising from the deserts of Thanalan. Please select the control scheme you used to use. We are going to use a gamepad, aka a controller. So when we're ready, we're going to speak with Wymond. So we are going to go ahead and turn off the help windows because I know what I'm doing. So I don't want those pop. They literally pop up in the game like every 5 minutes or so. So Leiora, there we are. First things first. I need to change a few things just because I can't stand having my name blue. I get lost. So there we go. So that's what I use there. My party members I want to be bright green, and I want my alliance members to be bright yellow. This is fine. Twin adder, I want them to be like purple for when we do PvP. That's fine. For pets, I'm gonna go ahead and do like a that's fine. Alright, now, as you can see, things are kind of big. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna mess with the HUD just a little bit. Crossbar is what we use since we're using controller. You can obviously play this game with keyboard and mouse. I am not a fan of keyboard and mouse, so I use controller. It's just easier for me. Obviously, that's a personal preference. Like, there's no right or wrong between the two. Some people say there are some classes that it's almost impossible to play on keyboard and mouse. Like, Summoner, for example, would be one that would be difficult to play keyboard and mouse. I would agree. So, or excuse me, controller, just because of the pet actions. But I believe it's the only one that people say is kind of difficult. What is that? Oh, that's the target bar. Okay, give me 1 second. I'm gonna put my alliances down here. We will use the alliance things for quite a while, and that's alright. But I just want us to be able to see things. So these are like for when we get statuses, things, all like things like that. I want the focus target bar to go down here, and I want our target bar to go up there, and it's a little big. So I'll make it one more, that's fine. And so that can go like here. Oh, these are actually gonna be too big, aren't they? Make that as small as they can be. They don't need to be big, they really don't. Trust me. So then there we go. We'll go ahead and we'll just put that there. Then we'll just kind of line these guys up with it. Just kind of center everything there. And then this is our main quest guide. So we'll put that over there. Party list for when we form a party. I think that's plenty big enough. We don't need it taking up our whole screen. And then scooch our limo gauge over so we can see that. There we go. I prefer my enemy list to be over here. Scenario guide does not need to be that big. There we go, that's fine. Duty list, same deal, I want it here. Second biggest is pretty much what I do. Don't need to worry about the other hotbars. Focus target, make sure that we can see that. And obviously we can come and change these if we need to. I'm gonna go ahead and make my chat box bigger. You guys can't see it because I do have it hidden. In fact, I can make it bigger like that so you guys can see what I'm talking about. But I like to be able to make sure I can read things. And I have the chat box hidden just for the privacy of the people online. Not that there's anything going on in there that we need to know about, but just for my friends who are going to be chatting, things like that, they may not want things recorded. So we are going to respect that and make sure that we keep that covered. We don't need the play guide. We don't need recommendations. I want to go ahead and put a Eorzea time on the clock. display. Okay, definitely want that. There is... There was one that I like. It'll take me a second to find it. I'm trying to find... Item settings normal is fine. There we go, make the font size a little bit bigger. It's because I can't see it. Let's see. I can't find it. What I'm trying to find is... like, it's like party. It has my name, like, up in the corner. So, give me 1 second. Apologies. I see, it's not gonna be in here. Cool thing about Final Fantasy as well is they do have these accessibility settings. So if you are colorblind or you have trouble seeing some different things, you can make adjustments so that things are easier to see. Now, it's gotta be in character configuration. I just gotta figure out where it would be. Oh, party list. Jeez. Wonder how many of you were like, the party list? You mean there? Hide party list when solo. There we go. That's what I like to see. Alright, so now we can see, like, we're level 1, we're up there. I really like having the party list up there. Alright, so this is our character. I am very excited. Let's go ahead and put a few emotes on our bar. We can go ahead and put this there. We can do a welcome. This is one of my favorites. I don't know what I just removed. Because I didn't mean to put that there. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Then... where is Wave? There it is. So those will be kind of like our big ones for right now. So, welcome to Final Fantasy XIV. So, we've made it. And we are now going to get started. So, hi Wymond. Alright, here we go. Coming to Ul'dah. To be recognized as an adventurer in the city-state of Ul'dah, you must register yourself with the Adventurers Guild. Accept. Tis plain to anyone with eyes that you don't know your way around here. If I let you go wandering off down the nearest dark alley, you're certain to get mugged or worse, and I don't want that on my conscience. So before you do anything else, you'll want to head over to the Quicksand and speak with Momodi. She's the master of the Adventurers Guild and can set you on the right path. There you go, Liz. Just take those steps over yonder and pass through the double doors. You'll find her inside. And that's as much as you're getting for free. Good luck with the adventure and adventurer. Alright. Thank you, sir. Quest accepted. You have begun a quest. Use the duty list to help you complete your task. So the duty list will pop up over here, and we can like check on maps and things like that. And then this is our main scenario. So that is like, so there's side quests obviously, and then there's main quests. So those are called MSQ, main story quests. And the MSQ is what's going to lead us through the fantastic story of Final Fantasy XIV. So, thank you for joining me. Let's go ahead and get started. Whoa! We got all these fun people here. We got people who just talk. Nothing like a warm ale after a day of maiming. A day of maiming? Warm ale? Really? That's what you want? Alright, also, if you notice next to Leora's name, there's a little green sprout. That means that we are a new player. So I may remove our sprout. We'll see. It goes away after you've gotten so much experience. Wow, that's a yawn. Excuse me. Oh my goodness. Alright. Here we go. Here's Momodi. She's so cute. I love her hair. It's so adorable. Alright, here we go. Also, I will try my best to remove the Liz logo during cutscenes. Why, hello there! Who might you be? If you're looking to join the Adventurers Guild, you've come to the right place. Name's Momodi, and I own this fine establishment, if it please you. I also manage the Adventurers Guild here in Eorzea, so you might say that looking after green adventurers like yourself is my vocation. And lucky for you that it is. Without someone like me to steer you right, you'd soon find yourself in the middle of nowhere, caught up in business you don't understand. Like our conflict with the Amalja, for example. They've been plaguing the Sultanate for nigh on, forever now. Then there's the Garlean Empire. None can say for sure what they're plotting these days, only that they are. Aye, the people drink and make merry, but underneath it all there's worry, and a lingering feeling of loss. And little wonder, it's scarce been 5 years since the Lesser Moon cracked open like a giant egg, releasing an abomination intent on turning the realm into an 8th hell. So much was lost in the blink of an eye. 'Twas like the end of the world that had come at last. But then things began to get foggy. Everyone's got their own version of what happened next. Some of them 2 or 3. You'd think people would remember something like that, but the fact is, they don't. Nobody does. There's one thing the survivors agree on, though. The part played by a band of adventurers who laid down their lives for a realm that wasn't their own. They fought valiantly, and like so many others, they never returned. Deeds worth remembering, I'm sure you'll agree. It's just a shame our recollections of those brave heroes are as jumbled as those of the calamity itself. Whenever we try to call their faces to mind, it's like they're standing between us and the midday sun, permanently silhouetted. I bet that sounds poetic to you, doesn't it? Well, it's not. It's bloody infuriating. But even if we can't remember them, we'll not let them be forgotten. And so we call them the Warriors of Light. And they'll forever stand as a shining example of what adventurers can achieve. That's why I welcome new arrivals like yourself to our fair city. All I ask is that you lend a helping hand and try to leave Ul'dah in a better state than you found her. If you can promise that, I'd be happy to let you join the guild. Alright then, a promise is a promise now. I'm counting on you to help put the past behind us. We need people working and spending and bickering like the old days. And a happy, prosperous Ul'dah means more business for the quicksand too. Any road, let's make this official. Go ahead and write your name on the register, neat as you can. She's so cute, I love her. Leiora Rathair. Well, ain't that a charming name? Just rolls off the tongue, it does. Alright, Miss Rathair. On behalf of the Adventurers Guild, I officially Please, sir, be merciful. 12 is my witness. I swear to you, I'll bring you your money. In the East, it is said that even a merciful god might be driven to vengeance if thrice blasphemed. Be grateful you were given a 4th chance to offend. You two, attend to this scum. No, please, mercy. Well, ain't that a sorry sight, nor an uncommon one if I'm honest. Don't worry though, if you work hard, I'll doubt you end up like him. Just the same, if you ever need a bit of advice about one thing or another, pay me a visit. Just don't go bothering me every time you stub your bloody toe, alright? Of course, I do enjoy hearing a lady muse on the many manhoods of her acquaintance from time to time. Any road, welcome to Eorzea, Leiora. Take a moment to catch your breath, and I'll teach you a little bit about our fair city. All right. This concludes the introductory game tutorial. You have taken the first step as an adventurer in the city of Eorzea. Listen well to the wisdom of Modi, and then go forth and discover the incredible adventures that await you. Alright, friends. So, that is the start. I can't get on this bench. I'm trying very hard and I'm failing. There we go. That is the start of Final Fantasy XIV. We have created a character. We have gotten to Eorzea, and we've gotten past the tutorial. As you saw in the beginning of the video, that was the trailer for the start of A Realm Reborn, and the story that follows is the one that Momodi just told us about how there were warriors of light who are fighting and they no longer can remember who they are. And so this is starting anew after the last calamity. So we'll learn more about the calamity as we go, and what happened to these warriors of light. Feel free to go back and watch that trailer now that you've heard Momodi talk, and maybe you'll get something a little bit more out of it. But we're going to go ahead and leave this part off here. I am super excited to have you along for this journey, so be sure to check back for more updates. I will also be doing some of these live as well, so occasionally a friend might pop into Discord, and you might be able to get some commentary from a friend as well. So some of these will be recorded live, some of them will be recorded by myself, like this one is today. So just be prepared for that, but I will try my best to get us through the main story as quickly as possible. The latest expansion of Final Fantasy XIV is called Shadowbringers, and it will be released on July 2nd, 2019. So we are going to try and see if we can get ready for Shadowbringers before it releases. If not, we'll play on Elizabeth, of course, which is my main. So be sure to follow me on Twitter and Twitch for more updates on Liz and now Leiora. And I am super excited to have you here. And we will catch up with Leiora next time and see what she's up to. We'll catch you next time on Let's Be Honest. Bye!